It is now my honor and high privilege to introduce to you the 45th and soon to be the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. This is an honor. And, you know, David is very good at this kind of thing, and I've seen it, and he's done a fantastic job. And he asked me, you know, he always has something, right? He always has something. He's a very difficult man. And he's proud of his product, and he does a great job, and he's got an incredible wife and family and son, who's a very good golfer, by the way. And so we really, we had a little problem because I said, wait a minute, I'm making the big keynote tomorrow, I'm doing the acceptance tomorrow, I'm doing all this stuff. I can't come over and introduce your damn documentary. I said, you call it a documentary or a movie, and he didn't really know. That was very disconcerting. But I think it's more of a documentary, but they did a fantastic job. It really is. It's exciting, it's good, it's truthful, it shows levels of incompetence that you wouldn't believe. What we're going through right now, what this country is going through right now, nobody can even believe it. It's nobody's ever seen anything like it. We have a campaign that's been going really well, but you know, we did a lot better the second time than we did the first. That was going really well, and they rigged the election, and that was the end of that. And we're not going to let that happen again. We have a lot of great people, but you know, it's very interesting. It was very interesting because we had an unbelievable 2016. We all remember that, right? And they said if you could get the same number of votes, 63 million, there's no way you can lose. And we didn't. We got almost 12 million votes more. That's it, they count. And so I said, well, we have that one made, but that didn't happen. So we had COVID. They used COVID, and they used everything you could use. And we ended up destroying our country. And we have, I believe, 20 million people, many of them coming from prisons, many of them coming from mental institutions, insane asylums, a lot of terrorists coming in. This is what we have. They are destroyed. We're like a dumping ground for the rest of the world. And this guy puts on a little bit of a break about a week and a half ago. The numbers went down a little tiny bit. And he says, oh, the numbers went down. He's destroyed our country, and we got to do something about it. Now, here's the problem. We don't know if he's running. He's getting weaker and weaker by the day. We don't know if he's... Did anybody see the debate? I haven't met anybody. It's sort of amazing because it got the highest ratings in the history of CNN, I guess you heard. And one of the highest ratings. So let me ask you, is there anybody in the room who didn't see the debate? One person. Anybody in the room? No, do you ever see anything like that? That thing was a ratings monster. That was a good time to have a monster. If you're going to have a monster, you don't want to do what he did because that was not pretty. But no, it started with that. And I said this has been the smoothest running campaign that we've ever done. This is the best campaign. You know, so we did great in 2016. We did better in 2020, much better. Yeah, but bad things happened, really bad things. We're not going to let that happen. And we're doing by far the best right now. This has been our best campaign. And then I got shot. How is that?
Fight! 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 Fight!
You say, how did that happen? But I got lucky. God was with me, I tell you. That's what they call a close call. That was an amazing, horrible thing, amazing thing, and in many ways it changes your attitude, your viewpoint on life. And I think, honestly, I think you appreciate God even more. I really do, because something happened
God bless.
Pleasant. It wasn't like it was a complete miss. It's pretty terrible that can happen, and it happens too often. We have things going on, just crime in our country is so bad, and things are going on with our country. We're going to fix it. We're going to make it back. We're going to bring it back. We're going to get rid of the criminals. We have so many people coming in. It's so sad when they come in from the prisons, the South American countries. And by the way, this is coming from all over the world. The people are coming from, and it's a problem I talk about. To me, it's the border. It's so big. In 2016, it was the border, and we fixed it. And I kept saying, well, let's talk about it for 2020. The people said, all my geniuses said, oh, no, we can't talk about that. You've already fixed it. I said, I want to talk about the border. I fixed it. Nobody's interested. The fact is, in 2016, we had a really bad border, but it was a tiny fraction of what it is now. Yeah. What it was in 2016, we'll take it right now. It was much better. And I fixed it easily. We built hundreds of miles of wall. That wall, without the wall, you would be 10 times worse off than you are right now, if that's possible. And I'm not sure it's possible because people are flowing in by the millions and millions. I think it's going to be 20 million by the time we get this guy out. We have to get him out. If we don't get him out, we're not going to have a country. We're really not going to have a country. It's so bad. And it will be interesting to see. One thing is that on Saturday, that rather epic event, unfortunately, it took all the news away from him. So they don't talk about him. He got a little lucky. He didn't talk about throwing him out. But now that chatter is starting again. You probably noticed today, Adam Shifty Schiff, one of the worst human beings. I call him Watermelon Head. He's one of the worst human beings you'll ever meet. Crooked as hell, and he'll probably be a senator, because in California they send out millions of votes, they come back. Where do they go? Where do they come from? But he'll probably be a senator. It's ridiculous. But he's a crooked guy, 100% crooked, a liar. But he came out very much against Crooked Joe. I mean, he came out very strongly, and Schumer's like a Palestinian right now. He's become a Palestinian. But you know what? We're going to fix this country. We're going to make it better. We're going to make it better than ever before. It's hard to say that, too, because, one of the big problems is the border, what they've done to our country. They've hurt it so badly. We can drill for oil, and we're going to get inflation down. We're going to have energy. We'll be energy independent again. We can do a lot, and we can do a lot of it fast, but it's tough when you have 20 million people, and you have to do something about it, because no country can sustain that. And you look at the way that Biden has treated our military, our vets, it's so horrible. And then people come in illegally and they stay at luxury hotels. The whole thing is not believable. It's not believable. They're so bad. They're so incompetent. Inflation is destroying people. It's destroying people like nobody's ever seen. Inflation is a country buster. It busted Germany years ago. It breaks countries. And we've had the worst inflation, in my opinion, that we've ever had. And I think they give phony numbers. They say 21, 22%. And they're not adding everything. I mean, interest rates alone, it went from 2.4% to over 10%, but they really can't say that because you can't get the money if you want it. So it's not 10%. If you can't get the money, it's much higher. But you look at the cost of food, you look at the cost of gasoline, and it's all going up again right now. It's going up at a very steep rate. So we'll see what happens, but it's so important. I believe that November 5th will be the most important day, period. And I have to tell you, I always have to preface, it's not as nice rhetorically, but I always have to preface it because on September 22nd, it begins with North Carolina, and then you go toward the end of September to Pennsylvania. It's just ridiculous. We used to have one day voting with paper ballots and voter ID. And now we have elections that go on for months, and you wonder what the hell happened to those boxes, what happened to those votes that were over in that corner last week. Well, sir, we moved them around, sir. No, it's crazy. It's just crazy. We're like a third world nation. In so many ways, we are at the border. We are with elections. It's so sad. But we have an expression, too big to rig, you know? Too big to rig. There's a point at which you can't rig the election. That's what we have to do, and it looks like we're close to doing that. We're having great polls come out, even from people that hate me, truly hate me. They gave me bad polls no matter what, but the worst polls are very good. So we don't want them to be too good, because if they're too good, maybe this guy doesn't run. We want him to run, and I say that, but I'm also willing to take on second and third and fourth. Because they all have the same policy of open borders and high interest rates, and they want to quadruple your taxes and treat our vets horribly. They treat our military horribly. They're going to destroy Social Security because they're putting many of these people that are coming in are just automatically signing up for Social Security and other things. They're destroying our country. And I almost think, and I used to say why, I almost think they don't care. One phenomena has happened, though. They're trying to sign them up to vote. And now you see, maybe that, at least you have a reason. At least maybe that's it. But you've seen that where they're trying to sign people up to vote that just came in. They don't even speak the language. They don't even know what the hell, they don't even know where they are, and they're trying to get them to vote. But these are very dishonest people that we're dealing with. They have no shame. So we have to be very, very careful, vigilant. We have to get everybody out to vote. And if we do, we get everybody. You know, the NRA gave me their full endorsement the other day. And I told them, which is amazing, people in the NRA, people, rifle owners, gun owners, have a tendency not to vote. They have to vote. Evangelicals have a tendency not to vote. They have to vote. If we get the people to vote, we're going to win this thing by so much, it's going to be a record. So we have to get people to vote. But I just want to tell you that I'm doing this because David said, please, would you do it? I said, absolutely, David. For you, I'll do it, David. I'm not supposed to, I'm supposed to be very quiet for a period of like 2 or 3 days before this big thing that's happening tomorrow night. And tonight, we have a great vice president candidate. Jamie is a very brilliant young guy, got into Yale. He was one of the top students at Ohio State and got into Yale without the father influence. There was no father influence. He got it on its own merit, which is not easy. And he was a great student. He's married to a great student also. His wife is also a Yale student. And I think he's going to be fantastic. Somebody that you can talk to. He gets it, wrote one of the greatest books, an incredible book on exactly the subjects that we like to talk about, how to make lives better for our people. And that's what we're going to do. But I just want you to enjoy this. When David called, I said, I can't do it, David. I'm speaking. I'm supposed to be silent. You know, every other president's silent for 4 or 5 days. They don't even know where the hell they are. I'm here doing this for Basti. I'm opening up this documentary, but it's a great documentary. And it tells you very much how it is. And much of it you're going to like, and much of it you're going to be angry about because of what they're doing. We're like fools to allow them to do this to our country and to this incredible thing that's been built over so many years. But we're going to turn it back. We're going to make America great again. And I love you all. Thank you very much, everybody.